They better not ruin Nathan's hot dogs.
That's like the most American
I know
brand. Oh my god.
right?
Goodness. I mean, whatever, but
Yeah,
interesting.
It's outrageous.
I'm appalled. I mean, the 4th of July is not going to be the same anymore.
I know. I guess I was going to say they could bring back Kobayashi, but he's Japanese, not Chinese. So
yeah,
big difference.
Legend,
of course.
Legend.
Yeah, but
the great American, which I forgot his name, no one can beat him. Joey Chestnut.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
He's one of the best. But yeah, so, the icy weather you see on TikTok, they're like, you could see up to 5 inches of ice in some areas, which would be completely devastating for the South, I'm sure.
Oh my gosh.
Not here. I watched Tom last night. He's predicting 0.1 to 0.25 inches, that's still a lot. Don't get me wrong, but it's not catastrophic from what they're saying.
Yeah.
It's more of a disturbance.
So he's saying that our area will probably get wet, but it might not have ice. Baby.
Could have a little ice. Could have some snow a little bit.
Yeah.
Look, we're already pontificating on stuff we don't know. So yeah. We'll have the experts here in about 40 minutes.
When it comes to weather, we're about as ignorant as it gets. Well, I actually do have some experience. I actually anchored the weather one time.
I do have experience. I experience the weather every day.
Right?
Yeah, the only experience you have is like, all right, Bob, what's the weather?
No, one time Tom had to take off like with a family emergency, so I had to jump on there and do the forecast, do the weather.
Hey everybody, it's a nice crisp day today. Looks like we have a bulging front moving through the northwest into the southeast. As you can see here, the numbers say this.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did. I just kind of read off the graphics and made my way through. It's actually kind of fun.
It is.
Yeah.
Because you had no pressure. If you messed it up,
yeah, that's
what are they going to do, fire you?
Well, I mean, the weather guys are wrong half the time anyway.
Oh, my.
They don't get
fired. Oh, my gosh.
All right. Well, let's take a call coming on BOM Bank Talk Line. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're talking about the Chinese, and I don't know anything about the weather, but Peter Schweitzer has come out with a new book called The Invisible Coup, and I just got it, but I've listened to several interviews of him about it, and this is a serious thing, and the Chinese are a big actor. There are several forces trying to undo America because they hate the West, and the Chinese really stepped up their game under Obama with the birthright citizenship and also Chinese men coming here and getting women to be surrogate mothers for them. I don't remember exactly the term that Schweitzer used, but it's off the charts on that. There's a certain amount that is average among all nationalities, and the Chinese are 1,000% more. Anyways, this surge of people who came here, birthright tourism, came here, had their babies, went back to China, and has educated them, mainly Chinese elite. They're going to start being eligible to vote in the next 6 to 10 years or something like that. And it's millions of them. And so, with the control that they will have exerted on them. I remember Christopher met a Chinese student at Louisiana College, and he kept trying to talk about how much better it would be if we had everything in common and if everyone just shared and if no one owned property. This kid was here in America and was living among us, but he was still sold out on communism. And so that was one. The second one is the Mexicans and their desire to retake what they say are the stolen provinces. We paid for them just like we paid for Louisiana. But they have 53 consulates throughout the United States. Even China only has 10. Most countries just have 1 or 2. But what they do is, what Schweitzer chronicles is that they facilitate Mexican people coming to America, both legally and illegally, and then setting up a system to assist the Democratic Party because they believe that with the Democratic Party, they have the best chance of gaining control of their lost provinces, La Raza and the race. And I suggest everyone gets this book. It's a real situation, and it's our own goodness that has made us vulnerable to this. But that thing you mentioned about China made me think about with Temu. They are serious about wanting to be the dominant force in the country, in the world, and as we see the Muslims using immigration to achieve goals they could not through the sword. Now we see them using weaponized immigration as forces that want to undo us use immigrants to do so. So, anyways, Schweitzer knows his stuff. He has several good books, and he hits both ways, both sides. Nobody's safe with him. He just digs for the truth. So, Peter Schweitzer, The Invisible Coup. Thanks. Y'all have a great day. Enjoy the weather.
Yeah, thank you so much. Which, I definitely think China, this administration anyway, has been more on alert about the workings of China. I think a lot of that is what Venezuela was about. I think a lot of that is what Greenland is about. Which, by the way, now we're hearing that the president's proposal with Greenland will probably be scaled down quite a bit from the original hype about it, but that the U.S. looks like they'll be securing territory within Greenland to be able to accomplish its foreign policy goals and its defense goals, which is really, again, what this is more all about. So
one thing you mentioned was the Golden Dome. Part of it's going to be in Greenland, so it's kind of like the Iron Dome. It protects against foreign missile threats and foreign threats.
Right.
So, I mean, that's kind of his MO, speak loudly and carry a big stick, and then, maybe compromise a little bit if you have to. But he just bullies people into what he wants, and that's just the way he does it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the long-term ramifications of that? We can get away with it now, but if you tick everyone else off after a while. So I think that's kind of his MO, and he'll probably get some of what he wants at this point.
Yeah. He had a very interesting speech at Davos yesterday. Just again, I think reiterating what we already know, which is he's thinking America first in all of this. And it's really, you look at what's going on in Europe, though. Just look at like the birth rate in Great Britain between native Great Britain people versus the immigrants that have come in. That country and a lot of other countries in Europe are being kind of conquered from within because of what they've allowed to come in and the fact that the population is not keeping up, the native population. So we're already seeing it, and you're going to see more of it, the transformation of Europe in the coming years. One thing David said was right, which is a lot of this is about a grand plan to overtake the West and do away with Western civilization, which I feel like that's what a lot of what President Trump is trying to do, is at least in terms of the United States and even expanding in the Western Hemisphere to protect it and enhance it and help it to grow and stay safe. Because if we lose that, this world's going to be a very different place for sure. So we'll see. All right. Couple other things.
Did you see where he kept calling it Iceland?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's easy to get those two confused, isn't it? Because Iceland is the more green country, and
you've been asking for it for years. You should probably get it right.
Okay. All right, Steve. That's fair.
I'm just saying, if it was Biden, it'd be a cognitive issue we have to look into.
Oh, I'm sure. I wanted to mention that the LSUA basketball team, they have their home games today. They take on North American at 7:30. The men do it, 5:30 for the women's game. And then LCU, they are scheduled to also play against tonight they're playing against Xavier. So basically what you have are these teams will kind of come up for the weekend, and one will play LSUA on Thursday, and then the other plays LCU on Saturday. And I'm trying to get the LCU schedule to come up, but there we go. It's been a little late. I know LCU is supposed to play North American on Saturday at home but I think they're working to try to move that game up to Friday, possibly, just because of the weather. And I don't know if LSUA is looking to do the same, but I think from what I'm seeing, a lot of the local sports, they're trying to work ahead of this incoming weather, which we will start to really see on Saturday. So we'll keep you posted if that change officially goes through. But tonight, LCU hosts Xavier, 5:30 women, 7:30 for the men. At halftime of the women's game, they're also going to have a ceremony where they'll be awarding the championship rings to the football team. So that should be kind of cool as well.
When is that?
That will be at the halftime of the women's game. So probably around 6:15 to 6:30
tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. And then LC baseball is supposed to have an opening weekend series as well, taking on Mid-American Christian today. And then tomorrow, taking on Wiley. It was supposed to be a Friday, Saturday situation, but they've moved it up to Thursday, Friday. And the Wiley game, they've even changed from starting in the afternoon, starting in the morning. So it's going to be a very busy day on campus with sports tomorrow. Not ideal trying to play sports at this time of year outside because you just never know. I mean, sometimes it's beautiful. Sometimes it's like what we're going to get this weekend. So you just got to kind of play around it and play through it. All right, let's take another phone call here this morning. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Well, I went to this play one time, and it was Chinese people, and they were really good. There was a Chinese group touring the U.S., and for some reason, this Chinese woman kept asking me stuff about me. She was part of the group, and she was talking to, kept asking me stuff about group. She wanted to know what I did for a living and how much money I made. It just kind of, yeah. But anyway, I told her that I was an engineer and that I had invented the space shuttle. Yeah, so it did. I said, yeah, it didn't take long, and so I just started.
Did you get a date out of it at least?
No, she was. I don't know what they were doing. They were asking everybody who they were and what they did for a living. She wanted to record me and stuff and with video and it was crazy. I created the space shuttle, and so it's nuts. Anyway,
well, thanks for doing that. We appreciate that you did that. Invent the space shuttle. I mean, that's kind of crazy. All right, the interesting world that we live in today. We'll take a break.
Can I remind somebody of something? Today is the Children's Miracle Network Mediathon at Sentinel Broadcasting. So we are helping out Christus St. Francis Cabrini Hospital all day, raising funds for their life-saving work. Please come by for lunch, too, if you want to buy some gumbo for the cause, and also listen to Q93 and our partner today, KLB, to donate some money, too. So big event we have every year, and we're all set up in the studios. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, good day to get some gumbo, for sure. Is it $10, I think, for the gumbo lunch?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
I think it usually has been that. But we'll try to find out and let you know. We'll be back right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. 2/3 of the nation bracing themselves for the severe winter storm that could cause unusually low temperatures. As a result, natural gas futures have jumped to the highest level in 4 years and has soared 75% in 3 days. Low temperatures could freeze water inside pipelines, disrupting gas production. Consumption is expected to rise as households crank up their heaters, but surging gas prices spell trouble for consumers struggling with high energy bills. Keeping track of your money, stocks sold off Tuesday on a clash between the U.S. and Europe over Greenland. The markets have been rebounding as President Trump signaled a framework for a deal over the territory. Futures are on the rise, building on yesterday's gains. And PayPal has agreed to buy Symbio, which is a platform designed to help merchants sell products across artificial intelligence chatbots. The payments platform is looking to become a one-stop shop for companies planning to sell through chatbots. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
The holidays are over and school is back in session. But Rapides Parish Library is ready to help your students succeed. From free homework help and research tools to computers, Wi-Fi, tutoring resources, and study spaces, your library is your students' best resource. Do you need help with projects, test prep, or just a quiet place to focus? It's all here, and it's all free. Visit Rapides Parish Library and rpl.org to discover everything your library can do for you and your students.
Well, good morning. Cloudy skies in store for us on this Thursday, and chances of showers off and on, about a 20% chance of that. The clouds will stick around pretty much all day. Afternoon highs near 59 degrees. Tonight, showers in the evening, then cloudy overnight, 49 the overnight low. And then for Friday, cloudy skies with a slight chance of some rain showers. Get about a 20% chance. The highs near 54. For the Zenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talk back.
All right, it's Alan Stephen with you here on your Thursday morning. Yeah, our board is still messed up. I was just checking.
We tried to work on it yesterday. It's just might take some time.
Really? Okay.
I want to, pay our respects to awful situation yesterday over in Bossier Parish. A BPSO deputy was hit by a train while working. Unfortunately, lost his life. His name is Timothy Jordan. However, he used to work at the Alexandria Police Department, and he is from the Pineville, DeVille area. His family tells me he went to the Buckeye schools growing up. Very kind and sweet person, and you could see his picture and some of his story on my page, Stephen Maxwell TV. But to all his family members out there, we are so sorry. We're all thinking about you and praying for you. It's just an awful situation.
Yeah. Did I read he was hit by a train? Wow.
I can kind of read off the BPSO press release. So around 8 o'clock yesterday morning, Tim Jordan, 4-year vet of the Sheriff's Office, was hit while working a traffic assignment. Information shows that Jordan may have misjudged the proximity of his vehicle in relation to the train track. He was taken to LSU Ochsner, where he unfortunately died. So this is something they're still investigating.
Wow. Yeah. Hate to hear that.
Awful, awful.
Say his name again. What was it?
Timothy Jordan.
Timothy Jordan.
So this is him right here.
Yeah.
You can see the picture on my page.
Right.
And I don't like to get in people's business too much, but his family reached out to me and they wanted everyone to know he's from here and kind of tell his story. So well, we're so sorry. It's just awful.
Absolutely. Also want to express our sympathies to the town of Gina Mayor LaDawn Cooper Edwards. Her husband, Eugene Edwards, died last week as a result of a drowning in Little River South LaSalle Parish. He was 69, had just retired last year after working in the oil field. According to Louisiana's Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, they were notified about a missing boater around 9:30 p.m. on Monday, January 12th. LaSalle Parish Sheriff Lane Wyndham confirmed that late in the evening last Monday, his office was contacted by the family of Edwards after he had failed to return home after hunting. They still own a family home place and property that's located in South LaSalle, and Eugene and his son would hunt on that property located across Little River from the home place. And they're not sure what, but at some point while he was checking on fish traps, he fell into the river. Law enforcement officers began searching the area, and they discovered his body about 3 hours later. So, man, that's really tough to hear, too.
Awful stuff.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Yeah. So, all right. Kind of bummer news here this morning on a couple of fronts. But, all right, let's go to the phones again on the BOM Bank Talk line. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Well, have y'all run to the store and got your 2 loaves of bread and your sandwich meat yet?
A friend of mine yesterday told me he wasn't thinking that this storm would be that serious, but he was at the grocery store and he saw Tom there. And I said, was he buying milk and bread? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, it's serious.
What is this? For a fellow I know, he just moved down. He's just retired, and he moved down here. He's 59 years old from Alaska.
Oh, wow.
And he and his wife the other day we were working on an aircraft, and I'm wearing a T-shirt, a long sleeve T-shirt with a vest. He's wearing short sleeves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it was about 55, it was about 60 degrees.
Right.
55 or 60. Anyway, we were talking to him the other day, and we said, with this front coming, I said, you're required. It's a law in Central Louisiana. You have to go to the store and buy 2 loaves of bread, a dozen eggs, and a gallon of milk. And he's looking at me and my friend like we're crazy. He said, why?
Yeah.
And I said, well, you're not required to eat it. You just have to buy it. It's a law. And he goes, if I lost power, why would I want to eat a cold sandwich? I'd rather have a hot super gumbo.
Yeah, true. Yeah, no, I don't think Tom was literally doing that. My friend was just joking. But when you go to the store, and I'm sure if you go today, you'll notice all the bread is gone, all the milk is gone. It's like, what?
I'm not going to lie. I eat cold sandwiches all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a
cold
wife
ham
that doesn't cook, huh?
Well, she cooks. So, I'm going to say she cooks so I don't get in trouble.
Oh, okay. Well, you just got to do what we do around here. It's just me and the wife now. So I just cook, or if I'm going to cook something, or she does, we do enough for 2 meals.
Yeah, there you go. Because we're making that transition from the days where we used to cook for 9 people to just 2 now. So it's hard to sometimes get it right. And I'm notorious for hating leftovers. I just don't like eating leftovers.
Oh, come on, man.
That's privilege, man.
I'm
spoiled. You know the difference. Come on. Do you know the difference between good gumbo and great gumbo?
24 hours?
That's exactly right. It works with red beans and sausage, too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Pizza. I like pizza that's been sitting out a day or 2.
Pizza?
Sitting out or sitting in the
You
fridge?
let it sit out, well, whatever. And either way, and then you heat it up. It's kind of got some staleness to it. It makes it extra crunchy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The best pizza cold, by the way, is Little Caesars.
I don't eat cold pizza.
Oh, I love cold pizza. Now, that is one thing. That is one leftover I will eat. It
has to be molten hot.
Really?
Yeah, I like mine warm. I'm with Steve. I like mine warm back up. Now, I'll eat cold fried fish and cold fried chicken.
Wow.
I could do that. Yeah.
And I prefer shrimp, boiled shrimp cold.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Because
it's like a shrimp cocktail.
Shrimp's one of those things you can eat hot or cold. But anyway, all right, well, the low in Little Rock Sunday morning is going to be 4, so we're not going to have it too bad.
No, man. Yeah, where I used to live in Wisconsin, it's going to be like 30 below. So.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I don't miss those days.
Yeah, when we went in 2019, we went up to Oshkosh to go to AirVenture.
Yeah.
And it was 4 of us couples, and we rented a house because it was Airbnb. It was cheaper, actually. Worked out to about about $900 a couple for 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
No.
4-bedroom, 2.5 bath house. And we noticed that there's 2 things in Wisconsin that houses have. All of them have basements.
Yep.
And most of them have gutters.
Yes. Yeah.
And I asked the guy that owned the house about it. He said, oh, our gutter system. I said, I noticed they go underground. He goes, yeah. He said, we go down about 4 feet underground. He said, and we run it about 30 feet out into the yard into a gravel leach bed.
Mm-hmm.
He said, because that way you get any runoff. And he had strips in his gutters, heat strips.
Right.
But everything came in. We went down to the basement, and they had set up a TV room down in the basement because they had 3 kids.
Yeah.
And
yeah. No, basements are legendary for man caves and things like that.
Oh, yeah, and they had, on all the stuff, I asked him, I said, well, your service utilities, he said, 5 feet underground. He said 60 inches because our frost line is about 36 to 42.
Right.
So it was interesting.
If I were to write my own Dante's Inferno, I would write all levels of hell for me as winters in Wisconsin or any wintry climate. This is not my
I don't know. I enjoyed it up there. Look, the roads are cleaner because they're serious about finding people that throw trash out.
Right.
I mean, I think the guy told me it's $250 if you just throw a trash out. He said, and if you get caught dumping appliances in the woods, it's $1,000.
Oh, yeah. 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 Well, that was the first thing I noticed when I came south was like, why is it so trashy down here? Because it just stands out. Yeah.
Yeah, because people just don't hit, but they're, they do have a recycle program up there, but I enjoyed it. I told him, I said, I could live here April to October.
Yeah, you could be a snowbird.
A reverse snowbird.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, some people love it up there. He said, well, you just got to do what we do. And he had pictures in his house. I mean, there were big deer hunters. Of course, the season's only 2 weeks there.
Yeah. It's so stupid that it's that short because that is the one thing. Kill. Having a liberal DNR, Department of Natural Resources, that 2-week gun hunting season, that's why like every 1,000 feet you see a dead deer on the road. It's ridiculous.
Well, in this subdivision this house was in, every day deer came through there.
Yeah. There's
and they're deer bigger than ours.
Oh yeah, they're. If you hit a deer up there, you know it. It'll smash your car really, really tough.
But you have you have a pretty good winter kill up there where we don't have that down here.
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
Well, y'all have a good day, and
Thanks,
bring the firewood in.
All right, sounds good. Right. Talk with you later. All right, we'll take a break. More talk back coming up.
KSYL.
Tired of that same plumbing issue? Call Southern Air Heating and Cooling. Plumbing problems, large or small, Southern Air will fix them all. And you'll get service with no delay from certified technicians the very same day. Take advantage of our $99 drain clearing special and our 0% financing for those larger jobs. Call Southern Air Heating and Cooling at 318-777-5555 or visit us online at southernairnow.com. The official heating and cooling provider for LSU football.
Now back to Talk Back. 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, we're back. Alan Stephen with you here on your Thursday morning as we prepare for the weekend and possible wintry weather. Again, we'll have meteorologist Nick Mikulus coming up on the show at 8:05, and then Fran Phoenix from CLECO at 8:30 to talk more about their plan for the storm. All right, Gen Xers, you want to feel old? Diane Lane turns 61 today. Cherry Valance. Did you ever see that movie, Stephen?
Who?
The Outsiders?
No.
I've heard
of it. No, I don't think so.
She was Cherry Valance. Diane Lane.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, gosh. Wow. Okay.
Can't say I do. Sorry.
Did you ever see the Man of Steel movie?
The Superman movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was the actress that played Clark Kent's mom.
I don't remember it that well. But I'll look her up here in a second.
Yeah. Look up young Diane Lane. Now, she's actually aged pretty well. 61 years old today. And if that doesn't make you feel old, I know you know who this guy is. Steve Perry, right?
Oh, yeah.
From Journey. 77 today. Wow. That's crazy.
His, oh, shoot. What's the name of his, it's the name of a woman, the song when he went solo.
Sherry.
Yeah.
Oh, Sherry.
That's a good song.
That is a pretty good one.
Mm-hmm.
Should have been gone. Knowing how I made you feel.
I think we might go see Journey without Steve Perry in June.
Okay. Isn't it like their farewell tour or something?
I don't know. My friend's like, you don't want to go? I was like, probably.
Because they have a Filipino lead singer now.
That's what I told him. I was like, well, it's not the original lead singer, Steve Perry. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, it's been like for 20 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
He's like, I didn't know that. I was like, yeah, he's an Asian guy. Sounds just like him.
Yeah.
And he does. He's pretty good.
Right. I think Neil Schon is still part of the band sometimes, right?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
But, well, that's like Foreigner. Their band has no original members left.
Really?
Yeah.
So it kind of becomes a de facto cover band at that point.
Yeah, I was going to say they're more like a tribute band.
Interesting.
But it's amazing how good still a lot of these concerts are. Now, like Styx, they still have several of their original members, especially Tommy Shaw and James Young, JY. They lost the guy that, I'm trying to remember his name now, who sang all the songs, but they replaced him with a guy that sounds just like him, and he sang about half the songs. But the guy they replaced him with is actually really good.
I saw a video of AC/DC the other day. They're looking pretty rough.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty old. Poor guys.
Yeah.
It happens.
Well, no one is held up as well as Minnie Kiss.
I mean, he kissed it well, about blew my eardrums out.
Except for the drummer. He was struggling.
He was on some sort of substance.
He was, definitely. Hey, it's rock and roll.
Yeah,
the old rock and roll days.
It's acceptable then, right?
Paying tribute to it. But Caitlin Clark is also 24 years old today.
Caitlin Clark.
Now, you know who that is, right?
CNN?
No.
Who is that?
Caitlin Clark, the basketball player.
You're right. Caitlin Collins is the CNN.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I completely forgot. See, we already move on from her fever.
Stephen, you've offended their one fan with the WNBA, and the fan goes wild. Yay!
The crowd goes mild.
No, from Family Guy, and the fan goes wild.
Oh.
Yay!
I love that show.
Yeah. Of course, the WNBA players want a new collective bargaining agreement. They feel like they're not paid enough, even though their league loses money every year.
Yeah, it's free market. You got to make the money to get paid the money. That's just the way it is. Sorry.
I guess so. Another sports note, I can lament a little bit with my audience here. Big trade in Major League Baseball yesterday. The Brewers traded away our ace pitcher, Freddie Peralta, to
the Dodgers?
The Mets. Yeah, they were talking with the Dodgers, but I think the Dodgers are going in on Tarek Skubal, probably the best pitcher in baseball.
Why do you support baseball anymore? Like, it's just
yeah.
It's kind of boring.
Well, I thought about that this morning, and I'm like, the game of baseball is still as beautiful as it's ever been. The business of Major League Baseball is screwed.
We need to socialize it. That's the only way forward.
You always say that. No,
well, it's true. I mean, I'm not saying that's the only way to make it fair from a competitive standpoint.
I mean, they need to definitely look at the models that NFL and NBA use.
And I swear, if y'all call and comment, he likes social. I can't take it today. I'm just talking about for sports.
Right. Yeah. No, there has to be an even field that then allows it to be, who has the best talent development, who has the best management. Unlike the Buffalo Bills, by the way. Did you see that news conference they had with their owner and their manager?
Yeah.
They're throwing like Keon Coleman from Opelousas under the bus. He's still on their team, and they're basically, the owner's saying, we didn't really want to draft him. It was our coach that we just fired that wanted to draft him. It's like, could you be a worse organization at this point?
That kind of shows what the issue's probably been.
Right.
Not Sean McDermott.
Yeah.
However, I think it's hilarious. I was watching ESPN because it's on in the gym I go to, and they were talking about it, having that news conference on, like, the anchors had this serious face, and like, I was like, dude, this is a football conference.
Yeah.
It's so funny how everyone takes it so seriously.
If you had the level of journalism and real journalism that you have in sports journalism, I should say news journalism, you would see so much better reporting.
They, in ESPN reporter, I was trying to get the name so I could send it to you. She looked like straight out of college.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And didn't have, you could tell she wasn't very polished. Not trying to be mean, but ESPN's usually like your pinnacle job.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're cutting
one thing that drives me nuts with ESPN, I don't watch it a lot, but I'll usually, if I watch SportsCenter, it's just when Scott Van Pelt is doing it. But when they do, and they'll do these reports where they have so-and-so reporting from like Sunday's game. What were our games last Sunday? Let's say the Texans against the Patriots. And the reporter will sit there and tell you for a minute on camera what the person said after the game.
Mm-hmm.
Just show me the soundbite. I don't need to hear it from you. Like just reading it off a teleprompter in the field. Just show me this, here was so-and-so after the game. Boom. Okay, now I have a feel for what he said. Why do you have to tell me? It's weird.
Sports journalism's always been weird to me. I've never understood it.
Yeah, no, it's very competitive, and they act like it is the life and death issues of the world, which is funny.
They have to create urgency to get people to watch, too.
I guess, yeah. So, all right, let's go back to the phones this morning. Good morning, you're on Talkback.
Well, since you were talking about business deals and things like that, I just recently read The Art of the Deal. And if you two haven't read it, it might be useful for y'all to sort of scan through it, because you get sort of an idea of where the president is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see how, he found people that were smart and people that weren't so smart, and how he manipulated things to his favor. And that kind of sounds like you're talking about these NFL or these pro owners. Just because you got a lot of money and you own something doesn't necessarily mean you're very smart.
Right. 100%. Yeah. Yep.
But the main reason I called was to remind people that it's kind of a mild day, and it's supposed to be kind of nasty come Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
In the wild event that you like birds and that you do put food out for the birds, now or tomorrow would probably be the best day to go to your favorite source of bird feed and purchase it, rather than trying to dodge icy roads when you realize that there are a heck of a lot more birds out there and you don't have anything to put out for them.
Yeah. Good advice. So we have the 3 Ps, the pipes, the plants, and the pets, and we'll add the birds. The 3 Ps and the bee.
And in the wild event, you're one of those avid birders that actually has a winter hummingbird feeder out. Remember that when the temperature goes under 32 Fahrenheit, even the sugar water freezes.
Mm.
And so what you need to do is to have a couple of feeders that you can take out. Take one out and put it out and bring in the other one and let it thaw out.
Okay. All right. Good advice.
And we do have hummingbirds that are found during the winter, and they're not wayward, lost, ruby-throated hummingbirds. They're hummingbirds that normally live along the west coast of North America, and for some reason spend the winter in the Gulf Rim.
Yeah. The Gulf of America Rim, we might add.
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to get into politics. By the way, did you two know that one of the reasons why Greenland was settled originally by the Vikings was because it was during a period of unusual warm back centuries ago.
Huh.
And so that was the main reason why they extended their colonies over to Greenland. And unfortunately, it got cold again.
Wait, you're telling me they had global warming back in the time of the Vikings?
That explains the reason why they were in Greenland.
They must have thought it was Iceland.
Well, they'd already settled Iceland. That was where the Vikings came from to get to Greenland.
There you go. All right. Well, I did not know that, but now I do, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, and the poor Vikings, when they got to Nova Scotia, found what they called it Vineland or Vinland. And unfortunately, they had a boat full of guys with swords and spears and bows and arrows. But the boatload was only, at most maybe 40 or 50. And the Indians, who they called Skraelings, happened to be a lot more numerous. And they had lots of bows and arrows and spears as well. And so the Vikings didn't succeed.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for the history lesson this morning. We appreciate it.
Well, why not share the knowledge?
There you go. All right. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you, and we need to take a break.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
Thursday, January 22nd is a day for miracles. On that day, Cenla's premier media outlets, KALB TV and Cenla Broadcasting, are joining together for a full-day mediathon, raising funds and awareness for Children's Miracle Network in Christus St. Francis Cabrini Hospital. We'll be taking your pledges. We'll offer a $10 gumbo lunch, and we'll do our best to make a difference for our local children who are in need. On January 22nd, tune in to our sister station, Q93, for your chance to help. You too could have a beautiful smile in as little as 12 weeks. Exclusive to today's Dental in Pineville, Virtual Align Clear Aligners, the fastest, most convenient, affordable way to straighten your teeth for people on the go. Plus, they're invisible. No one will know you're doing it. Experience the virtual Align difference. Call Today's Dental at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. 448-4540.
Need office supplies, janitorial supplies, or office furniture, either new or pre-owned? Then look no further than DTW Office Supply, with wholesale prices on a large selection of top quality products, all with the personalized hometown service that you deserve. We're proud to serve the entire state of Louisiana with daily deliveries right to your door. Visit us today at 1219 MacArthur Drive or online at dtwofficesupply.com. That's DTW Office Supply, your trusted partner for all of your office needs. Quality, value, service.
A message from Israel Air Conditioning and Heating.
Yeah, my mama, she told me to pick up and call Israel Air.
She told me Israel Air. She told me.
She said they'll come running with comfort beyond compare.
At a very fair price.
Because you know we're all about your comfort, no troubles. Call 442-6657. That's 442-6657. We're all about your comfort.
It's Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, we're back. Alan Stephen with you. I don't know that I'm going to download the TikTok app, but here's an app I feel like I definitely need. It's an app that tells moviegoers when it's a good time to go to the bathroom without missing anything important. It's called the Run Pee app. You just sync it with whatever movie you're watching, and it'll flash to tell you when there's a break in the action, like at the 23-minute mark of No Time to Die, then shows you how long you have to do your business before you miss something good. Even gives you a brief synopsis of what you missed while you were taking care of business.
Very innovative. Very cool. I've always struggled with that in my time as a moviegoer. Now I have an option.
Just wait as you get older, man. Sometimes it takes 2 trips to the bathroom.
Oh, that would be me
during
as well.
a 2 or 3 hour movie. Okay. You already have
I like my coffee and water.
Yeah, that's true. Staying hydrated has a cost.
That's right. Health has a cost.
Okie doke, everyone. Stay with us. 8:05. Nick Mikulus will be here. We'll get his latest thoughts on the impending winter weather. Coming up.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenla Broadcasting.
AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3, HD3, Alexandria.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The Oscar nominations are out.
No ghosts. No magic. Till now.
Ryan Coogler's Sinners leads the pack with 16 nods. That breaks the old record of 14, first set 75 years ago. One battle after another, scooped up 13.
My child comes from a whole line of revolutionaries. And you look so lost.
Hamnet among the 10 Best Picture nominees.
You touched me. What did you see?
I saw a landscape.
As well as lead actress for Jessie Buckley, her co-star Paul Mescal, snubbed along with Wicked for Good and its stars. The Oscars will be handed out March 15th. President Trump spent his last few hours at the World Economic Forum in Davos with a focus on peace. He inaugurated a board of peace.
To each and every one of you, we are truly honored by your presence today. Leaders of countries, in most cases, very popular leaders. Some cases not so popular, but that's the way it goes.
He met with Volodymyr Zelensky on ending the war with Russia and warned Hamas it must disarm. A massive winter storm is set to tear through state rates from Texas through New York with snow, ice, and frigid temperatures. Meteorologist Craig Allen is keeping an eye on the Northeast.
Especially north of Interstate 78. This is going to be all snow, and there's the potential of at least 6, if not up to 12 inches of snow.
Utilities are bracing for the possibility of massive outages and airports for flight cancellations. The special prosecutor who brought 2 federal indictments against President Trump is scheduled to testify before the House Judiciary Committee today. Jack Smith investigated the president for classified documents at Mar-a-Lago and attempts to overturn the 2020 election. CBS's Torian Small.
What we're likely to see is Jack Smith vehemently defend his handling of this, while Republicans are looking to paint the picture that Smith painted the president as his target and went after him unfairly.
Health officials in Nashville investigating a rare fungal infection that's growing more deadly.
At least one person has died of the rare respiratory infection histoplasmosis, which is caused by breathing in spores of a fungus commonly found in the soil in Middle Tennessee. 35 other people have been sickened. Some of them, like teenager Cammie Carpenter, suspect a large construction site in Spring Hill.
I did try to go on walks, and I don't know if I was walking in the fungus.
State health officials say they're looking at construction sites as a factor, but have not pinpointed the source of the outbreak.
This is CBS News.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you feel embarrassed, trapped, maybe even ashamed just because you own a timeshare? Well, I'm here to tell you you're not alone. Chuck McDowell here, the timeshare cancellation guy. I get over 3,000 complaints a week from all kinds of folks that feel the same way you do. Honest people, teachers, veterans, grandparents, all losing sleep over a timeshare they can't get rid of. That's why 15 years ago, I founded Wesley Financial Group to help people take their lives back. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we would want our own family to be treated. That mindset has helped us cancel over 50,000 timeshares from people just like you. So if you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-261-3377. 800-261-3377. 800-261-3377.
You just heard about movies up for Academy Awards this year, but how about the nominations for the worst, the Razzies?
The live-action Snow White
Father told me long ago.
and War of the Worlds lead the field with 6 nominations, including Worst Picture. Keeping it in the family,
Do not judge a book by its cover.
Sylvester Stallone and his daughter are up for Worst Supporting Actor Razzies. One of the Snow White nominations, all 7 artificial dwarfs are up for Worst Supporting Actor. Previous Oscar winners Natalie Portman and Jared Leto are up for Razzies. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
And sticking with the movies,
You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what? The very first Harry Potter film will return to theaters in August to celebrate its 25th anniversary. All screenings will include 10 minutes of never-before-seen behind-the-scenes extras. The original spawned 7 other hit Potter movies. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Colleen Crane. A bipartisan bill introduced in the House would require all middle and high school student IDs and websites to include mental health and suicide prevention information. Congressman Troy Carter is among the sponsors and says one of the pieces of information that would be required is the 988 suicide prevention hotline.
This anonymous hotline gives them an opportunity to talk to a professional 24/7, completely free, and it is totally anonymous.
North Louisiana could be hit with a significant ice storm this weekend. State climatologist Jay Grimes says rain will reach the state's northwestern parishes on Friday, and that rain will eventually turn to freezing rain and spread across the northern half of the state.
Biggest concern is the icing threat, and we're looking at a decent likelihood of a half an inch of ice or more.
He says there's also potential for ice accumulations along parts of the I-10, I-12 corridor by Saturday night into Sunday. LRN. With Julia Letlow entering the Senate race, the race is on to replace her in the House of Representatives.
Like the other 3 Republican-leaning districts in the state, the 5th congressional district is decidedly Republican. The Cook Partisan Voting Index has it as Republican plus 18. With that, a lot of Republicans have either declared their candidacy or expressed interest in the now open seat, including Rick Edmonds, Stuart Caffey, and Michael Echols. Greg Hilburn, a Louisiana politics reporter for the USA Today Network, says with qualifying less than 3 weeks away, they'd better put the pedal to the metal.
They will
don't have time to raise any money. I don't know how they're going to run.
The primary is May 16th. I'm Andrew Greenstein.
The Bossier Parish Sheriff's Office is mourning the loss of one of their own. 4-year veteran Deputy Tim Jordan was struck by a train yesterday morning while he was working a traffic assignment. Bossier Parish Sheriff Julian Whittington says Deputy Jordan was a dedicated public servant who took pride in protecting the citizens of Bossier Parish, and his loss is deeply felt throughout the agency and the community. LRN.
This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter with the clinics. We provide primary, family, and chronic care along with gastroenterology, podiatry with on-site lab and x-ray services. I'm pleased to welcome family physician Dr. Noah Miller to our team. We are currently accepting new patients and same-day appointments are available. If you're admitted into the hospital, our doctors will see you there as well. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The clinic's on North Bolton, 445-9823, and online at theclinics.us.
Well, good morning. Cloudy skies in store for us on this Thursday, and chances of some showers off and on, about a 20% chance of that. Clouds will stick around pretty much all day. Afternoon highs near 59 degrees. Tonight, showers in the evening, then cloudy overnight, 49 the overnight low. And then for Friday, cloudy skies with a slight chance of some rain showers. Get about a 20% chance, highs near 54. For the Zenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
All right, we're back with you, Alan Stephen, here on your Thursday morning at KSYL. Talkback is the show. Our number 318-442-8255 on the BOM Bank Talk line. Just a reminder that we have the CMN telethon going on today. Stephen, give the details on that again.
Children's Miracle Network Mediathon at Zenla Broadcasting. We're raising money for Christus St. Francis Cabrini Hospital for the life-saving work they're doing with the kids. And you can call in, donate. More info at q93fm.com, or you can come by during lunch from 11 to 2, buy some gumbo that goes to support the cause. So lots of good stuff happening all day.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll keep you updated throughout the rest of the day as well. All right. We know that a lot of the attention right now is on what could be happening this weekend, which is some kind of winter weather. What exactly it's going to be, it's still sort of a fluid situation. So we thought, why not get it straight from somebody who knows, unlike us, we don't know. He is Central Louisiana's second spoken word artist. He is Nick Miculus. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Bringing out the old stuff. Yeah, I'm looking at here. You want to know something fun? Let me break this news. This is hilarious because I don't know what's happening in 2 or 3 days. I mean, I kind of do, but the GFS is rolling out another thing like this next weekend. So that'll be fun, and that'll give me more things to hem and haw over. Hey, it's good for analytics, right? No, I mean, it's been trying this for a little while, and I actually kind of so I have that subscriber group. So yes, you can subscribe to the page and you basically get nothing and like it. Well, the thing is, I have a little chat group where we can, talk a little. I can be a little more irresponsible there, which if you can imagine. And I mentioned like late next week, before this whole event was coming about, and I was like, that's kind of an area I'm circling as a wintry weather potential kind of thing. And now the models are kind of converging on that, which is funny because, we had the consistency in the models on this storm that we're looking at like 3 days ago, and now they're fighting and battling. So sometimes as you get closer, you think you're going to get, like, I'm always like, let's wait until tomorrow. And then I get, more confused as I wake up and see the models. And I'm like, wait a second, we put all this new data in here and everything kind of stayed the same. So we still have our 2 main camps, one of which is saying, there could be a significant ice storm starting as soon as like noon on Saturday, and the other camp, and both of them are saying this, is that Sunday is the main day and that it could be a shorter but more intense window, which sounds bad, but it's actually kind of good, and I can explain why heavy freezing rain is better than light freezing rain if you'd like me to.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So what happens when you have heavy rain falling? A lot of that, you're going to see that flowing down the streets, and it just kind of rolls off of everything. If you have a lighter kind of rain, that super cooled rain falling, and that touches everything it makes contact with, that's going to freeze instantly. But if you have these huge, heavy rain showers coming over, so much of that's going to run off. So your model is going to say you're going to get an inch of freezing rain, but in reality, you may only accumulate a tenth to a quarter of an inch of that, which is still significant, but so much of that runs off. Now, if I saw an inch of freezing rain over a 24-hour stretch, that's much more concerning because that's just going to all build up. It's going to be real efficient. You're not going to see all that falling off the trees and the elevated surfaces. So sometimes when I see heavy freezing rain, I worry less about power outages and things like that. So yeah, that's kind of just, if we're going to get into just the forecast part of it. Saturday, I'm kind of iffy. I think that could stay up more toward I-20. I really think there are very realistic scenarios where we don't see any sort of ice accumulation until after midnight Saturday night. And then that front comes crashing down on the backside. And we're going to have the front through here, but it's more modified air that's going to be more like 30s and 40s. When that second front comes in, that's when we drop below freezing, probably after midnight Saturday. And that second wave, again, could be heavier rainfall, could be some thunderstorms involved. But if we're at 30 degrees and it's not, 26 where everything freezes instantly, well, we could, see heavy totals, but it might not be the end of the world. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now, is just not only looking at the forecast and seeing what's going to happen, but I'm also looking at how exactly is this going to accumulate, because not all freezing rain are created equally, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, that's a lot to take in. And, I think
I really just rolled there for a while, didn't I?
No, I mean, that's what you do. And we appreciate that you do that, because you're not like a lot of these people you're just trying to, bring some hype. You're really trying to let people know exactly what to expect, which when you're talking about weather is nearly impossible to get it almost exactly right. Even a lot of times you do.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing, and this is what I say about wintry weather. If I were going and saying, if this were, if it were 60 degrees all weekend, I'd be like, hey, it's going to be a wet weekend. We're going to probably see, lighter, more scattered rain on Saturday, heavier stuff Sunday with 1 to 3 inches of rain. And it's like, okay, cool. Well, now it's like, if that happens when it's 31 degrees, that's a lot different than if it's 32.1 degrees. Because if you're just a hair above freezing, that's all a cold, nasty rain. You're a degree below, you start to see a lot more freezing. And of course, you see that happen at 32, but the atmosphere at 32 is going to not freeze nearly as efficiently as if it were, say, 27, 28 degrees. So there are so many factors that go into ice forecasting, especially. And it's one of my passions. I love winter weather and all that stuff. I wish I had a little more clarity on this one, because I hate making people prepare for something and have any sort of financial commitment, because I know, a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck. I take that seriously. I don't want to make you go out and do things. So I'm like, go out and get the groceries you'd get anyway. Go out and get the medicine that you might need. Get those prescriptions filled. If you haven't started the generator in a while, go check that out. I'm not saying go buy a generator, go buy all this stuff and, go crazy and everything. I'm just saying do the preparations that aren't going to hurt. And then if we wake up tomorrow and I'm like, wow, this actually looks like this is going to be the real deal, and we're going to see a massive ice storm and we're going to need further preparations, well, then we can go there. So that's kind of the communication nightmare, because I know not everybody reads everything. Not everyone's going to listen to me ramble for this whole time, and you're going to get bits and pieces of it, and that's kind of the issue. But it's my job to communicate it as best I can, and dang it, I try.
All right. So kind of give us a day-by-day look at what we're expecting. So, let's start with tomorrow. What's tomorrow going to be like?
So tomorrow, we're actually going to see maybe some light scattered showers. We're not going to see, it's not going to be below freezing. I'm looking at a new model coming in right now. And then my wife's like, wait, don't they just show up? It's like, no, if you have, this one goes out 84 hours. I get panels every 3 hours. So I'll get a 3-hour panel that pops in like every 3 minutes. So I'm going through that, and I'm really tracking the temperatures on this thing. But so tomorrow, just to answer your question there. Tomorrow, it looks like we're going to stay not warm, but we're going to see highs up in the 50s. The front is going to start to edge into the area later in the afternoon. So we could see temperatures kind of start to fall off as we get after about 3 o'clock, which is pretty typical anyway, but it looks like that's when that front's going to push in. And then we're going to see temperatures drop into the 30s overnight. And then as we get into Saturday, I'm trying to think of what exact days I'm in here. That's where it's like, in looking at this right here, we go from a freezing line on this model, which this is pretty consistent with the warmer models. That freezing line is going to be up somewhere in Sabine, Natchitoches, and Wynn Parish. And it would literally be 32 or below up there, and we could be 62 in Opelousas. So quite a change across the area. So we could range from ice to, a pretty decent warm day. Then Saturday nights when things all start to kind of fall apart, and that's when we see that secondary front crash in on the backside. The next wave of energy comes through, and that's when we actually have, like I said, elevated instability. So that could provide some thunderstorms across the area. And sometimes in those cases, what you'll see if we got a thunderstorm and it's 30 degrees, you have that warm layer above you, but you can easily see a lot of small hail get to the ground. In fact, we have, in looking at the soundings, they have an algorithm that tells you, there's a marginal chance for a tornado, there's a chance for a significant tornado, whatever. There's no chance for a tornado, don't worry. But we are, the soundings, the profiles of the atmosphere are actually in a marginal severe setup. We could hear a lot of thunder out of this on Sunday as we drop below 32. Now, that's kind of reminiscent of what we had in the second wave in 2021. The difference here, and people are asking about ice dams and stuff like that. I don't see that happening because when that storm that we had back then, remember we had that first wave, so we had a bunch of thick ice on the roofs already. Right. We won't have anything set there, so we're good to go. I don't see any sort of threat for ice dams or anything like that. So one bit of good news.
Yeah, that was 2021.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Which now is almost 5 years ago. Golly.
I know. It seems like yesterday.
Okay, so once that really cold air comes in Saturday into Sunday, that's the time period you're most concerned about. How much precipitation do you anticipate we'll get during that time that could become ice or snow, or will it become snow?
No snow. That takes a totally different setup. Like it's crazy. The temperatures. So Arctic air is really shallow, sometimes 500 to 1,000 feet deep. And that's relative to the, troposphere being 60,000, 50,000 feet deep. That's pretty shallow. So above that, temperatures are still in the 50s. So that's why all this stuff melts. It's not like it's barely above freezing. It's actually pretty balmy up there. It's a good 20, 25 degrees warmer than it is at the surface. So we're not going to see snow. In fact, I really don't think we'll see sleet down here. Maybe, again, if we get some convection or thunderstorm development, you'd actually get small hail before you'd get sleet.
Okay. So, if anything, the rain that we've gotten the last few days, even maybe going into this weekend, once that cold weather hits, could create some icy conditions.
Yeah, because Sunday night temperatures are really going to come crashing down. So like after this whole thing moves through, we're probably going to see overnight lows. Like the GFS has been crazy. Like I usually, it's one of our more reliable models, but it's been acting kind of wild lately. But it's showing, and other models do agree, we could see lows around 20. So once that rain moves out, let's say it moves out at noon to 3 on Sunday, we have a layer of ice on the trees, but we have a lot of kind of runoff and puddles and the bridges are wet. We're going to drop down into the probably low 20s that night, upper teens in spots. So yeah, we're going to see some icy roadways then. I think that could be our highest risk of issue would be on the roadways, at least after the sun goes down and we cool things off Sunday night.
Okay. So if we have, people that are in positions of leadership with local churches, pastors, or whomever, what should be their call for Sunday morning services? Is it prudent to think maybe, not have those, or what are your thoughts?
I think that you can get if you have to make the decision today, and like that's kind of your date where your time where you're wanting to make that call, then you probably, especially if you're north of Alexandria, you probably lean that way. Down south, you could probably get away with it. I don't want to, I hate over canceling, but I also remember, when I was a kid, we'd do that stuff like you'd wake up Sunday morning to go to church. They'd be like, oh, there's no church today. It's icy. We got a call from Marge down at the office. So if you can wait until at least Friday evening, we should have a much, much better idea on things, I hope. But I believe a lot of, I've talked to some people and they're going to be doing like a virtual thing, or they're recording the sermon, things like that. There are ways with technology that we can do these things and keep everyone safe. But for now, if you can put that off, I would a little bit.
Okay. So at least give it till tomorrow night before you maybe make that call.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow evening, Saturday if you can. But the way we're all connected now, it's so easy to be like, hey, it's not like you have to find childcare and all that stuff for the kids. I know that's why a lot of times school will get canceled because there's so many moving parts. But if you can put that off for a while, I'd do that.
Well, since you brought it up, what about school for Monday?
If it comes through Sunday the way it's kind of looking now, I would lean toward them. They just going off of past experience, it would probably maybe be canceled, but I don't make those decisions, so please don't come at me, folks.
Nick said that they're canceling school.
Nick said, yes. Yeah, and like I said, it used to be, you remember this, Al, well, I don't know, I had TV, you probably, I don't know if you had like the phonograph playing things or whatever, but so when I was a kid, we would have them running across the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, you watch it like it was the dang NFL draft,
Exactly. And now it's like, if I don't know, 3 days in advance, how in the world am I going to figure life out? I get it, but it's like, man, I just remember that we didn't know until the day of,
right.
Man, and sometimes it was like the hour, like I'm getting dressed and eating breakfast. It's like, nope, they just canceled it. Sweet. Okay, I don't have to go.
I remember in fifth grade, we all walked to school through the snow. We got to school and it was closed. So we had to walk home with our keys, on a little string around our necks. So that we just had to be at home alone all day. And guess what? We survived.
That was like back in the telegraph days.
Yeah, we just turned the TV on, watched Little Price is Right, ate some...
Yes.
Raided the cupboard for snacks and enjoyed the day.
He didn't have mom and dad home, so he just watched Porky's Revenge all day.
Well, that hadn't come out yet. That was a few years later.
Yeah, okay.
We didn't even have cable back then.
Yeah, we had I was jealous because when I was a kid, we had channel 2, 4, 5, 9, 11, and 30 sometimes. And then if the kids had cable, they had 2 to 36. Man, you talk about legends. I was like, I'm gonna go spend the night there. Because you had the Weather Channel. So once that went cable, I had to talk mom and dad into getting that, of course. So you can't miss that.
Exactly. All right. Well, I know you'll keep us updated on your meteorologist Nick Mikulus Facebook page. Also, people should download the Cenla Weather app, as you'll have alerts and other things that come through that, and people can have the latest information right at their fingertips.
Yeah, I'm always surprised that people I'll talk. They're like, "Oh, I love watching your weather stuff," and then they're like, "You need to get an app." I'm like, "I've had one for 2 years." Oh my gosh, I don't promote this enough. So please download that.
Jambalaya.
What's that?
Gals on Jam.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, no, I that's finally ended for me since I've been off now 17 years. It takes a while though.
That's true. Man, well, if it makes you feel better, I have a student now at LC. She grew up in this area, but she doesn't know who you are because when you were on Jambalaya, she wasn't even born yet.
She was, I mean, you've ruined my whole day, but that's all right. I'm going to get through this.
You'll make it. Yeah. You'll survive. All right.
I will. I'll figure it out.
Nick Mikulus. He's the best at the business. Yeah. He and Tom combined for their efforts of Cenla Weather. We appreciate what you guys do, and I hope you can get a little rest, and I know it'll be an active weekend. So thanks for keeping us informed.
Absolutely.
All right, brother.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
Yes, sir. We'll take a break. Come back with more.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
Thursday, January 22nd is a day for miracles. On that day, Cenla's premier media outlets, KALB TV and Cenla Broadcasting, are joining together for a full-day mediathon, raising funds and awareness for Children's Miracle Network in Christus St. Francis Cabrini Hospital. We'll be taking your pledges. We'll offer a $10 gumbo lunch, and we'll do our best to make a difference for our local children who are in need. On January 22nd, tune in to our sister station, Q93, for your chance to help.
From America's #1 travel radio show, I'm Robert Carey.
And I'm Mary Carey.
And this is your RM World Travel Minute as we report from Mexico on our way to Los Angeles.
If you missed us sharing this last week here or on the 2-hour weekend edition of this show that we did from the Panama Canal on Saturday, well, with America's 250 celebrations happening this year, Robert and I supercharged our coverage of this major happening by traveling between Miami and LA by ship. The big Let's Go America tour Miami to Los Angeles continues this week, and to stay connected to see it all, check out our RM World Travel social channels on Instagram, Facebook, X, and LinkedIn.
Working with show partner Regent, we've been traveling aboard their new Seven Seas Grandeur since January 3rd. This is the same ship you can come join us on this October in the Southern Mediterranean. There are just 1 or 2 staterooms left, so go get all the information on our show website and make your deposit.
This Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon Eastern, Robert and I will broadcast the weekend version of RM World Travel live from Cabo San Lucas. Be sure to tune in via one of our 615 weekly stations out there across the U.S. or use the Listen Live button at rmworldtravel.com.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
It's Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Do I have time for a quick story?
You do.
So the St. Landry Parish Council voted to seek an opinion from the Louisiana Attorney General regarding the constitutionality of the state's ban on cockfighting. So apparently there is a huge group of people over at the St. Landry Parish police jury meeting.
Well, yeah.
Or parish council meeting, wanting to bring back cockfighting. Interesting. It's been banned since 2008.
I remember when it was still a thing. It was a big thing, too. They actually, I went to a boucherie down in St. Martinville around that time, and they were doing a cockfighting demonstration. But the roosters, they had like little rubber booty things on instead of their usually they put like little razor blade kind of things on them. That's how they win.
Ronald Wonzine, who's a supporter, says it's not just a sport, it's a culture to us.
100%.
Some of us treat these animals like our kids.
Until they get their throat slit by the other rooster.
I am perplexed.
Yeah.
Why do you need to do that in your
But
life?
I mean, is it even really a free country anymore if you can't fight with your rooster?
Yeah, you can't just destroy animals for your freedom.
Yeah.
Like, good Lord.
So you're not in favor of the return of
I am
cockfighting?
anti-cockfighting.
Okay.
Yes. But you'd like to put in your chicken and let it scrap in the ring? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, they're going to die anyway.
Okay. I'm just perplexed. This is actually a thing. I'm legitimately
No, I get the cultural significance of it, for sure.
It'll be all right. Culture will continue without you fighting your chickens.
Does it happen in Venezuela?
I don't know. We've never talked about it. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
Venezuela doesn't mean it's right.
True. All right. Well, we'll take a break. More coming up.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Apple plans to revamp Siri later this year by turning the digital assistant into the company's first artificial intelligence chatbot, codenamed Campos. The chatbot will be embedded deeply into the iPhone, iPad, and Mac operating systems and replace the current Siri interface, allowing users to summon the new service by speaking the Siri command or holding down the side button. Sam Altman, CEO of ChatGPT owner OpenAI, has been meeting with top investors in the Middle East to line up funding for a new investment round that could total at least $50 billion. OpenAI has raised billions in recent years to help finance the immense cost of chips, data centers, and talent to build new AI systems and support wider adoption of the tech. And meat processor Smithfield Foods will acquire legendary hot dog brand Nathan's Famous in a deal valued at about $450 million. The deal is expected to close in the first half of this year. Nathan's has been around for 110 years. Erica Herskowitz, Bloomberg Radio.
As we step into the new year, Sinlaw Pregnancy Center wishes you hope, joy, and fresh beginnings. If you or someone you know is facing an unexpected pregnancy, you do not have to walk that journey alone. We offer pregnancy confirmation, limited ultrasounds, options counseling, material support, and more. Always with compassion and always at no cost. Start your year with hope and support. Call us today to schedule an appointment and ask about our Baby Boutique program.
When it comes to gambling, how much is too much? Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Know the signs of problem gambling before getting in too deep. Visit gamblingsignsla.org and take the quiz today. Or text or call 877-770-STOP for free confidential help today.
Listen closely. If your retirement funds include an IRA or 401k, this matters right now. The stock market is at an all-time high. The dollar is under pressure. Interest rates are heading down. And leading economists are warning that the global financial system is changing. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000 right now to get your free gold investment guide, valued at $49, plus your free copy of economist Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. Investors across America are turning to gold and silver with Advantage Gold. Right now, silver is flashing a signal you can't ignore. Silver prices have been rising sharply, and history shows when silver moves, it can move fast. Learn more before this window closes. Call 800-900-8000 right now to get your free precious metals rollover kit. Find out about a tax and penalty-free rollover in 2026. Gold and silver can surge when the economy shifts, and they don't wait for permission. Results may vary. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Well, good morning. Cloudy skies in store for us on this Thursday, and a chance of some showers off and on, about a 20% chance of that. The clouds will stick around pretty much all day. Afternoon highs near 59 degrees. Tonight, showers in the evening, then cloudy overnight, 49 the overnight low. And then for Friday, cloudy skies with a slight chance of some rain showers, getting about a 20% chance. The highs near 54. From the Sinlaw Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson.
Now back to Talkback 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, we're back, everyone. Alan Stephen with you here on KSYL. Glad you could be with us as well. 318-442-8255. All right, so as our watch of the winter weather continues, joining us in the studio is Fran Phoenix with CLECO to update us on what they're doing to prepare for the storm. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Al. Good morning, Stephen. Thank y'all for having me.
So are you on high alert right now? Is there a term for that?
We're always on alert. We prepare for storms year round. And Al, you and I go way back. We've talked many times. We have a lot of storm experience.
Yes.
Right now it's this winter weather, but you talk about tornadoes, hurricanes, flooding, even wildfires. We've kind of seen everything. So we're prepared, and that's what we want to let our customers know. And we want to let them know that they should get prepared. Even though we have a lot of storm experience, we never take them lightly. We follow, we monitor, and we inform and educate, and we prepare.
What are some precautions you guys have in place right now, things that you're doing to prepare for possible storms?
So what we do is we monitor the weather, of course, and we subscribe to our own forecast. And for this particular storm, the reports are saying that northern Louisiana and central will be the most impacted. So we have crews we've already staged in those areas. Okay. And we do that, Stephen, because if the weather, is as they say, it's bad, it'll be hard to travel. Mm-hmm. So if we stage crews there now, they'll already be there if the worst happens. So that's the strategy behind that.
Do you guys expect any power outages from these storms at this point, or is that just too hard to predict right now?
Well, it's kind of hard to predict, but we always prepare for the worst. So the question may be that, what causes power outages during winter weather? Because it seems like you may not have any. But what happens is the trees, which we have a lot of trees in our service territory, they become heavy and brittle due to the accumulation of ice. And then those trees can break and fall into our system. And that's where the power outage comes in. And then when you take in the fact that it's bad weather, icy roads, it makes it harder to travel sometimes and get to those. So we always prepare for the worst. We don't expect any outages from this, but as we get closer to the event, we'll know more. But we just prepare for the worst. And again, if there are outages, it's most likely going to be due to the accumulation of ice on the power line. And trees falling into our lines, that's one of the leading causes of power outages.
How do you guys prepare for an ice storm differently than maybe like a hurricane?
We really pretty much do the same thing. We're going to always find out where the worst impact is expected. We're going to stage crews there. I guess maybe get more, it depends. You know, we have modeling systems that we use. Like for a hurricane, you have different levels, right? And you start preparing a week or more out, right? With extra resources. As I said, we prepare year round, but if there's a hurricane and we're getting, the forecast that it's going to be, a category 4, that's catastrophic. So in that instance, we probably would not just get the normal crew out. We would probably outsource and get contractors from all over the U.S. into the thousands. So that's one way that may be slightly different. But again, if it's a winter storm and it's as bad as, they're projecting, we'll get the same thing. So we have our crews that are staged in the impact area or the slated area. And then we have other crews on standby. So we'll have contract line mechanics, we'll have contract vegetation specialists, those are our tree trimmers. And so they're already on standby. So if I had to say what would be slightly different in terms of preparation, it might be the number of workers. Because a hurricane, a Cat 4, that's a whole different ball game. And then it also has to do with the impact area. If a hurricane's going to hit Louisiana and it's projected to go across the state, well, that's going to impact our entire service territory. Whereas this winter storm that they're talking about, it looks like it just may be north and central Louisiana for us. So then we have that southern part of the state, St. Tammany Parish, that may not get anything. So we can take the crews that work and live there and bring them to central and north Louisiana. And then, of course, we have contractors that work for CLECO pretty much year round. And if we need additional resources, they bring them in. But they use modeling to determine like how many we need.
Okay. So no new contracted employees or an influx at this point, just kind of waiting and seeing?
We have, as I said, the crews that are being staged in north and central Louisiana, and then we have crews on standby. Okay. So as we get closer to this event, like tomorrow, I'll tell you this, we have a storm call at 10 o'clock today. Okay. And so our storm boss, Clint Robichaux, he's going to give us an update, and then they're going to tell us, okay, so this is what it's looking like right now. And we think we need this number of resources. And so we are able to better give you more details as we get closer to the event. But again, staged crews that are staged there now, they're there, they're ready. And then our other people are on standby. But Stephen, we've been in a lot of storms and we've had crews come, not just from their contractors, line mechanics and tree trimmers, but we also do mutual assistance. So if Alabama Power or Oklahoma Gas and Electric, had a catastrophic event and they needed our line mechanics, we would send them. And then if we had a major disaster, then they would send us help. So you have lots of resources. You have your contractors, your line mechanics and vegetation specialists that don't work directly for CLECO, but we bring them in through a contract. And then you have mutual assistance where the different utilities help one another. So resources, that's a huge part of our preparation, and we maintain those relationships year round. We don't just call and say we need 100 contractors today. No, usually they've been to CLECO before, and they know our service territory, because you got to think about it. They don't live here. So, we have our crew or a crew member that leads them and helps them, guides them, tell them where to go. We have to get lodging for them, depending on how bad the storm is and how long it's going to last. You got to feed them. You have to do laundry. It's a big process. We have a storm plan, and we follow it pretty much to the letter. And it's applicable for whatever storm. You could use that for a hurricane. You could use it for a winter storm. You could use it for a tornado. So it's muscle memory. We're just ready. And most of the employees at CLECO have storm assignments. So if you work, for example, in accounting, and, you know, some of them are on a storm team. Like I'm on the corporate communications storm team, Brooke and myself and Jennifer Cahill. So the accounting employee that's on a storm team may be on the lodging team. So that means they're responsible for helping getting hotels for the crews that are coming in from out of town. Well, the employees that aren't on the storm team, they still have a storm assignment because they have to do the work that that employee isn't able to do because they're out helping restore power or getting the linemen a place to sleep. So you see what we do? It's very systematic. So, you know, you may not be directly involved in the storm, but if you're staying behind and picking up the slack for another coworker, you still have a storm assignment.
Right. What would be your best advice or tips to people to prepare for this, for the homeowner or whatever?
I would say for sure, you know, have a storm kit. That should happen whether it's a hurricane or a winter storm. Make sure you have perishable, non-perishable food items like a can opener, a radio, so you can get great updates from Cenla Broadcasting. The biggest thing I would say, Al, that in my years of doing this, if you have a generator, a portable generator, you do not want to put it in your garage or in your house for sure. You want to put it outside of the garage in a well-ventilated area because there have been instances where there have been unnecessary tragedies because of that, because it produces carbon monoxide. And so while it may be doing the job you want it to do, keeping you warm, it's not safe at all. So, and again, we're hoping we're not having any outages, but if we do and you do have a generator, make sure you operate it safely. Also, stay away from down power lines. As we talked about the ice accumulating on the tree limbs and the tree limbs fall on our system, it could be a transmission or a distribution line. Don't take matters into your own hands. Oh, I'm going to go get my saw and no, because electricity does wonderful things for us, but you have to respect it. So never, ever assume that you can take on that responsibility or that job. We have trained professionals for that. And so if you see a hazardous situation like a fire, or if you have a line down in your yard, call us at 1-800-622-6537. That's our customer call center, and 911, because you just want everybody to be safe. And, you know, we'll get there, they'll get there, and then they can kind of put cones out and get everything secure. That's why we always say call 911 too.
If people do lose power, do they need to call you, or does your system sense that?
We have a really pretty smart system, you know. Our AMI meters will let us know almost all the time when there's an outage. And especially since we know that, you know, we're in a winter storm situation, most of the time we are going to know because of the type of systems that we have, the automation, but we never tell a customer they don't need to call. If they feel better calling, definitely call and report it. And you can do it through the automated system. You don't have to wait and talk to a customer care specialist. You could just do it. You can also go to our outage map, CLECO.com, click on outages. It's on the home page, and you can see the entire system. It's going to show you, it has little markers on there, and you can look by parish. Look at Rapides Parish. It tells you how many customers we serve, and it tells you how many are out. The other thing that's important to notice, it may say like 15 outages, but only 10 customers are impacted. That's because that's the actual number of the work, the damage, you know, that's there. That doesn't necessarily correlate with the number. There's like 15 outages possibly affecting 100 customers. So you can see that level of detail on the outage map. So I love the outage map. When I have people that call me and ask me, hey, can you tell me something going on? I don't have no secrets.
Right.
I just go to the outage map,
And it also tells you like estimated time when you might get
It does,
back.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's updated pretty frequently, almost like every 5 minutes. So when the media calls us about outages, I'm going to go to the outage map. And sometimes I'll go to our distribution operations managers if it's something I have a specific question about. It's very hard to give exact times, and we know that's usually the issue. Everybody wants to know when, but for us, we're going to work until every customer is restored. We're going to assess the damage. We're going to patrol. Sometimes if we need a helicopter, we have one on standby. They'll fly the line, see where the damage is, how bad it is. We're going to repair transmission first, because you got to get that going first. That's the first step. You got to get your distribution. And from there, we're going to go after the critical care facilities like hospitals, nursing homes, police departments. We're going to restore them first. And then we're going to restore the greatest number of customers in the fastest amount of time.
Sure.
And we're going to work the system until all customers have power.
Great. All right. Fran, thank you so much. Cleco.com for people to get more. We appreciate you, and I know you guys will have a busy weekend, but hopefully it won't be as bad as we're fearing.
Thank you, Al. Y'all stay safe.
You. All right. That's Fran Phoenix from Cleco. We're back after this.
KSYL.
Some smiles sound like this, while others sound this way. If you'd like to improve the way your smile sounds, the folks over at Today's Dental in Pineville can deliver. Over the years, hundreds of Central Louisiana patients have visited Today's Dental and then left completely satisfied. Their dental implant procedure is amazingly simple, low anxiety, and completely affordable. Today's technology makes your beautiful smile easier than ever. The staff at Today's Dental go out of their way to make you comfortable with calming in-office IV sedation that's administered by a highly skilled certified nurse anesthetist. And their multiple finance options make the entire procedure truly affordable. Want your smile to sound better? Give Today's Dental a call at 318-448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. That's 318-448-4540.
Hello, I'm Sarah Kramer of Kramer Funeral Home. Funerals don't just signify that a life has ended. They celebrate that a life was lived and loved. At Kramer Funeral Home, we understand the importance of celebrating a life well lived. And since no two people are alike, no two funerals should be alike. We will assist you step by step in creating a meaningful service that honors your loved one's unique life. Let us, the staff at Kramer Funeral Home, be your personal guide.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talkback.
All right, we're back, and some great information this hour. Hopefully that has everyone prepared for this storm, whatever it might bring. Because as we know, Stephen, it can be dicey sometimes.
And that's the one thing about working in news. We hype it up and we have to talk about it, but we really are just waiting. You just wait to see what happens.
Yeah.
And y'all know that. This is Louisiana.
Right. Now, I definitely think sometimes media overhypes things, but you don't want to be caught in a situation where you under-prepare people. I think it's better to be over-prepared and ready to see whatever the outcome ends up being.
Yeah.
So thanks to our meteorologists. Thanks to Cleco for what they do. And thank you guys for listening as well.
Yeah, they came on last minute, texted her this morning, and she's like, I'll be there. So
yeah.
We appreciate it.
And with Fran, she'll do a great job keeping you updated as if things do develop and we start seeing a lot of outages.
Cleco has a good PR group.
They do. They really do. All right, tell you what, I let that interview go really long, so I'm going to have to take this quick break and we'll come back with more.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, Call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson.
Got a big day ahead of you? Then it's best to fuel up with some of Cenla's best at Bricato's restaurant. Walk right in and just smell that home-style cooking. Place your order, take a seat, and do breakfast right till 9:30 this morning. Get fresh biscuits, eggs any way you like them, melt-in-your-mouth pancakes, grits, hash browns, sausage, bacon, even wraps and sandwiches. And don't forget their fresh brewed coffee. Bricato's Restaurant, 28 West, right across from the Coliseum. Your breakfast is waiting for you.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talk Back.
All right, we're footloose and fancy free here on a Thursday Talk Back. Only one more day of our work week left after today. Going to be a busy day, I'm sure, for lots of folks. What do you got planned?
I have some stories that I shot yesterday. They're going to be posted. I have to go to Forest Hill here in just a little bit. And it's been a very busy week. And then you're adding the storm with it. So lots of content. Yesterday had a bunch of stuff. I had like 4 or 5 shoots yesterday. So
yeah, you did.
Forest Hill passed that anti-carbon capture resolution. So I'm gonna talk to the mayor on why they did that.
Okay. I know that down in Cheneyville they opened up they did a groundbreaking on a new substation for RPSO.
Yep, services the Cheneyville, Echo, Poland area. So they're excited about that. It's the 3rd substation under Mark Wood that's been implemented. Also one in Heinston, which is Oak Hill, and the Colleen area. So this is the 3rd one that's going to be built right next to that fire station off of 71. So they were pretty excited about it. And so good stuff there.
Yeah.
Talked to the new CEO of Royal Martin, Scott Poole. I'm going to do a little story on him today.
Oh, great.
Very cool story. And of course, his wife is the new chancellor of CLTCC. So they're both doing some great things as well. And
He's
then
the first person who's not a member of the Martin family to lead that company.
Yes. Speaking of the Martin family, they had the groundbreaking, the ribbon cutting for the new Martin Family Success Center at the campus of Louisiana, LSUA.
Yeah.
Amazing building, $16 million about for the whole thing. $5 million private matching funds from state funds, and $2 million of that came from the Royal Martin family. The Royal Martin III, who was the CEO at the time when they did this, Chancellor Paul Correll went up to him and like, hey, I don't know if there's anything you could do. We need this extra bit of money, about $2 million. He's like, okay, let me think about it. And he said he called him back a couple weeks later, and Paul walked in, and then Mr. Martin just laid a $2 million check in his hand. He goes, take that to the drive-through bank. It was just funny.
Wow.
Royal Martin III seems like a cool dude. Worked with him a couple times.
He really
It's
is.
really great that they did that. Great company in the area, and exciting stuff at LSUA.
Yeah,
and we had a LCU president, Dr. Mark Johnson. I'm in the Kiwanis Club here in Alexandria, and he was the speaker a couple days ago. Fantastic job. I think just some special leadership we have in higher education here. So I think things are on the up and up for LCU.
Yeah.
Which is my alma mater. I'm excited.
There you go. Yeah, it is. It is good. Lots of positive comments from around the community about the new president and how engaging of a person he is. All of that can only help. So very.
And it seems like he's just being real.
Oh,
You know what I
he is.
mean?
Yeah,
Like, he's honest with it.
Yeah.
He goes, he knows it's an uphill climb, but we just need to focus on the students.
Right.
And focus on that first, then get to some of the more grandiose plans. But I think it's a smart move too. He's like, we're not looking to be the biggest university in Central Louisiana or something like that. We're looking at focusing on what we have and making it better.
Be true to our mission.
Because LCU is, you want to be more of a name than a number. And very intimate, Christian college atmosphere.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
just get back to that. I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, I think so. just like LSUA, though, it takes money. So hopefully more of that is coming as well.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So exciting stuff. Lots of news happening.
Yeah.
We'll be monitoring the weather. I'll be reaching out to the city officials probably tomorrow. Because if we do stuff now, it'll be dated in 12 hours. So,
yeah. So in the time we have left, just kind of another one of those studies in modern journalism. I saw a wife of a friend of mine on Facebook posted how terrible it is that ICE detained a 5-year-old student during a raid. And people are like, oh, this is terrible. This is, wrong, blah, blah, blah. But I give credit to Homeland Security because they immediately have posted an update saying ICE did not, and they posted this after Ilhan Omar actually made a post about it saying, ICE just detained a 5-year-old child. Don't tell us this is about the worst of the worst. That's a lie. So Homeland Security responded, ICE did not target a child. The child was abandoned on January 20th, which was 2 days ago. ICE conducted an operation to arrest Adrian Alexander Conejo Arias, an illegal alien from Ecuador who was released into the U.S. by the Biden administration. As agents approached the driver, he fled on foot, abandoning his child. For the child's safety, one of our ICE officers remained with the child while the other officers apprehended Arias. Parents are asked if they want to be removed with their children, or ICE will place the children with a safe person that the parent designates. This is consistent with past administrations, immigration enforcement. Parents can take control of their departure and receive a free flight and $2,600 with the CBP Home app. By using the app, illegal aliens reserve the chance to come back the right legal way.
And that's an interesting update because you see all the headlines, and I saw the story this morning, was reading it.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking right. I Googled it, and all the major news outlets, all the Minneapolis news outlets have it framed as ICE detains a 5-year-old.
So if that's true from Homeland Security, which we hope, we don't hope that's the truth, but we hope that they are telling the truth.
Right.
Sometimes that's up in the air, but that's an interesting development on what was being possibly reported.
Yeah.
Because Drudge Reports, their headline on the main story is ICE detains 5-year-old. And it's got a picture of a cute little kid.
Yep.
And like a cute little stuffed animal hat. And he's just sitting there with an officer behind him. So, they claim that there was a family member who tried to take him after. Like, say, hey, we'll hold on to him, and they wouldn't let him, and they don't know where he's at. But, I guess we'll have to let it play out there.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah, Drudge, his report is taking an interesting turn in recent years.
Well, he's conservative. He's just anti-Trump.
Yeah. Okay. Well, on that note, don't forget, everyone, the Children's Miracle Network Mediathon that is going on today right here at Cenla Broadcasting until 7 o'clock tonight. Come by from 11 to 2, gumbo lunch while supplies last. And if Steven's here, the supplies will go faster because you might eat a bowl or 2 or 3.
I'll try and get that in.
All right. That'll do it for today. Keep it here with Cenla Broadcasting. We'll have the latest weather updates. And, of course, we'll have more of an update tomorrow as well. Matt Ritchie, by the way, tomorrow from 8 o'clock until 9 o'clock as we had to move his segment from Tuesday to tomorrow. So we'll look forward to that. And thank you, everyone.